All right, we're out fishing on Lac du Bonnet in Manitoba. We're gonna see how many species I can catch in one day. Stay tuned. Oh, come on! Oh, yeah! All right, well, we're out here, beautiful Lac du Bonnet. I'd say Lac du Bonnet might not get the attention it deserves necessarily. I wouldn't say it's the easiest fishery, but it's one of the best options within day trip distance of Winnipeg. I've spent quite a bit of time on Lac du Bonnet. I don't want to say I have any sort of great tournament track record, but over the years, if I have found success, it has been on Lac du Bonnet. I'm not saying due to any of my own angling skills. Most of those have been due to intel from Mr. Aaron Weeb or fishing tournaments with him. So we did a couple Manitoba bass angler tournaments here years ago, and then the kayak tournament last year. I used to do the Angler Young Angler tournaments with my dad, and we did okay in some of those. But anyways, as mentioned, the goal today is how many species can we catch in one day? There's the option of mooneye, of pike, of smallmouth, of crappies. I've heard rumors of largies in here, rock bass. I think there's sturgeon and catfish too. We're not going to target those today, but yeah, lots of options. I'm going to show you guys kind of what I'm looking for. We're going to break down. There's actually some new mapping available on Garmin's for Lac du Bonnet. So I'm going to show you guys what I'm looking for on the map, because a lot of the stuff I haven't tried for. I haven't really fished Lac du Bonnet at this time of year. So we're going to do some exploring. We're going to try to check the boxes off. Should be a good multi-species day. All right, before we get any further into this video, I found this when cleaning out my office. This is a Hunt Fish Manitoba hat. Never been worn, signed by the cast of 39 Hours Season 2. This is not any sort of hint at a Season 3, but I did think I'd give it away to one of you guys. So if you're interested, comment below if you want this hat. I will send it to one of you. Thank you for your support as always, and I thought this would be a cool keepsake for somebody. All right, so we are gonna go for a little bit of a ride, but I'm looking at the map. So this is a map, I'll overlay it, of Lac du Bonnet all the way zoomed out. The cool thing about multi-species angling is there's, different spots for every different type of fish. And like I said, Lac du Bonnet is kind of a playground for all these different options. So what I'm doing, I'm thinking about what species this time of year, what sort of stuff they're gonna be hanging on. Obviously there's exceptions to all this. For moon eyes, I'm thinking they're gonna be associated with some sort of current. So I'm looking at the map, I'm looking for any sort of pinch points. So obviously, going near town, there's probably more current because that's where the Winnipeg River is. Right behind us here, it pinches right down to a bridge. So that, you don't need defined mapping for that, but within those spots, there could be humps and stuff. For walleyes right now, I'm thinking they're gonna be on humps and little stickouts. I don't know if I mentioned this part, but there is new mapping now on Lac du Bonnet through Navionics through Garmin. So you're getting 1 foot contours, which is a pretty big deal when you're trying to pick out these spots. So when I'm just scrolling, and the thing is I have the same mapping on my phone. So when you buy the app, you get it on your phone, you get it on your unit as well. So I have the subscription to it. So the beauty is I'm laying in bed last night. I'm already prepping the spots and looking at where I'm gonna fish. So zooming in here, so you can see this little stick out on the right, go up a little further off the shoreline. There's 2 more stick outs on the left. So I'll kind of show you what I'm looking for as we go. I think we'll start with some walleye / bass spots. We'll move on to some pike and crappie. I think the wind is supposed to pick up, so we might make it out to the big part of the lake sooner than later, but that's a lot of talking. We're gonna do a lot of fish in new water today, and we're probably gonna strike out, miss on a lot of the spots, but you fish enough and eventually you'll find something. So. All right, species number 1, little hump here that comes up to 18 feet of water. It looks fishy. I could just drive and look with the 2D right now, but I'll probably drop the trolling motor in and kind of scan over the top of it. But yeah, this time of year, the walleye is going to be transitioning out to more main lake humps. We are in the river system here. Yeah, humps just hold walleyes. It's, late July now. This is prime time for fishing those main lake reefs. All right, so as you can see, I rolled up onto this hump. This is my first time ever fishing this spot, and the beauty of good mapping plus good electronics, you roll up to a hump and you can check very quickly if there's gonna be a fish on it. If you don't have electronics, you can still use the mapping and still roll up to the hump and fish through. It'll just take you a little bit longer, but you can certainly still catch fish. Right now, I'm gonna kind of focus just right on the pinnacle, on the crown of the hump when I'm looking for walleyes. So it looks like there could be a couple fish hanging off the edge. I'm just gonna throw out a little Ned style bait, an indestructible bug. How many species would I be happy with today? Walleye, bass, pike, crappie, that's 4, mooneye would be 5, rock bass would be 6, perch would be 7. I'd be happy with 5. I think 4 is very doable. He likes it. We're on number 1. I'll bring him to the side. There we go. Okay, that was easy. When in doubt, just drop down a crawler, drop shot, worm, eater walleye. All right, 1 for 5. There's a few more down there that are tiny. Maybe they're perch. Maybe we get 2 on the first spot. That fish acted very nicely. We're gonna drop back down here. It looks like there's some micros. This area is known for some big perch, the Pinawa Channel, if you look in the Master Angler books. This is funny. All right, number 2, woo! Just to be fair, the last tournament I fished here was a smallmouth tournament with my friend Michael Tully, and we caught 1 13-inch smallmouth. I think we finished 7th out of 10 teams. So I'm not claiming to know anything. Could definitely, you know, fluke into a bass on here too, or a pike, but we're not gonna spend too long here. But what I noticed the other day when I was here for that bass tournament was how there's just walleyes all over this system. We've been fishing for 10 minutes and we got 2 species. So we're on a good track record. So we got a walleye, we got a perch. Honestly, what I think is the biggest opportunity here is some of the crappie fishing in the Lac du Bonnet area. I did a video with Aaron a couple years ago, but they've just exploded and they're just in all parts of the lake. So I want to show you how I'm going to use the mapping to now find some crappie water. So in the chart settings, you can go into layers, chart layers, depth. So you can do depth shading. So I'm going to turn it off. So this is what it looks like when you just look at the map. You can look at it quickly and kind of tell, you know, the shallower areas. But what I really like is the color shading. So let's say the walleyes are in 20 to 25 feet of water. I can specifically get it to shade all the 20 to 25 foot waters green. So if that's the pattern, then I can hop around the lake. Let's say right now, I mean, if I were to guess, the crappies are done spawning. They're probably moving out of the back base, but they're probably still near some spawning area. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go on depth shading, like I said, and I'm gonna turn it on, boom. All of a sudden it just looks way different now. So I've shaded, you know, that orange and yellow to be in that, what do I have for my depth options here? So orange is 5 to 10 feet, yellow is 10 to 15. I think the crappies are gonna be in that 10 to 15 feet if I were to guess. So now I can specifically key in on those yellow areas. So now going back to my map here, you can see this bay we're rolling into has some yellow. You can see, you know, a couple of these bays, they've got some green. It depends what that sweet spot is. There's bays all over the lake. As you zoom it on Lac du Bonnet, you can see, I mean, there's lots of stuff in that color pattern. The beauty is just customizing it to pick it apart. But I would say, you know, for walleyes, I was talking about those stickouts, those little bumps. For crappies, we're gonna be fishing near swampy bays. We're gonna pick a bay, roll in, and downsize with some smaller baits, I think. Yeah, I think there's some fish on side imaging here. I can kind of see some white lines off to the side, right on the edge of the weeds here. They could be walleyes too, but we'll give it a shot. It becomes very visual. So the way I have my graphs network together is that my echo map in the back and the front are tied together. So anytime I drop a waypoint, it'll show up on both, which makes it convenient as well. I pull my Active Captain app and it shows them on my phone. So like I said, if I hop in someone else's boat, I have the waypoints on my phone, which is very handy. Or if you come back ice fishing, you want to mark a spot, it just makes that transfer back and forth pretty convenient. Just looking on the reef, but yeah, just off to the side there. There's a lot of fish down there. And that's the thing, it's proximity. It's like, you know, this is a spawning area back here, and this is the first little piece of structure on the way out. So I don't know for sure if these are crappies yet, but I think we'll probably find out quickly. Oh, that fish came racing over. It ate my weight. Oh baby, what do we got? What do we got? Woohoo, number 3. That fish was just never ever gonna get off the drop shot. There you have, I don't know, probably a little 11-inch Manitoba crappie. There's a carpet of them down at the bottom there. When you find one, you find a bunch. So while I did catch that fish on a worm, I'm gonna switch it up and do an artificial. So this is a drop shot. You hear me talk about it all the time. This is a BKK drop shot hook. Got a big heavy weight. This is probably like 3/8 or something. Probably try something like that. Could I just use you know, like a Frostbite Mini Slayer would be good too, but this is a little evergreen minnow pattern, and I think it's probably gonna crush them. The hook's almost the size of the bait, look at that. All right, I think they'll eat that though. I have a hunch. All right, pod 10 feet in front of the boat. And with that drop shot, I'm pretty much just keeping the weight in the bottom. I'm just holding that bait, you know, a foot off. I can see some fish sliding over. And sometimes it just feels like a little tick or a slight little lift. There we go. Number 2. He's jumping. All right, we might have to pull the fish clicker out. Number 2, good average size, like 11, 12. Ooh, I might have found a big school back here. Oh yeah, we were just fishing for the little pack. We found the mother school out here. You're gonna hopefully see them like rising up as the bait comes close. Oh my, they keep hitting my weight. This is why we came to Lac du Bonnet. Look at this right here. This is how good the fishing is. He ate the weight. Look at that. Come on. I was just saying that. I'm not crazy. Come to Manitoba, you don't need hooks, just a chunk of bare lead. You can catch yourself a crappie. That was hysterical. Okay, so after seeing that crappie eat a plain chunk of lead, the way that it did, I can definitely put a bigger bait on. I'm gonna take a derby slayer, which would be a little on the big side for a crappie, and I'm gonna just rip it in half. All right, that's what I did. Some of the little more beef, a little more profile. There we go, I got a smile on my face. So I'm catching crappies. All right, it did it. They're all, I don't know, 11 inches, something like that. Bloop. And even though this spot itself, when you look at the map, doesn't look like anything too interesting, it's the fact that it's got that spawning bay near it. I'm assuming those fish would spawn back in the reeds behind us, and this is where they'd hang out for a good portion of the summer. They might slide out a bit deeper for fall and winter, but this is good. Oh, perch! This is too easy, guys. All right, well, that's more of a proper perch compared to the one we got before, and we're still on a mega school. It's kind of a crossover rod I'm using. This isn't a straight up panfish rod, but this is a 7.6 hair jig rod. Use it for drop shotting, and nothing wrong with fighting them on an ultralight, but put a hook on the weight. That's really what I should do. Ooh, that's the biggest one yet. We'll throw that guy on the board. Manitoba does have like 16-inch crappies. This is not one of them, but 12 inches is master, which is quite attainable. All right, as you can see, if you had the mouth open on this fish, you could be almost touching like almost 13 inches, but mouth shut, calling it a 12.5. So that is a Manitoba master angler. I have caught my 5, so I am a specialist already, but hey, see ya, buddy. There are true giants that swim in Manitoba. That's not one of them, but that is a master angler. We haven't moved too far in the last hour or so, and I don't know how many fish we caught, but I'm sure we could catch 100 crappies if we wanted there. And this little Frankenstein frostbite bait was the best. Show you guys a couple little tips and tricks on the mapping. And then I think we're gonna go look for a big pike slash smallmouth. We might do some, might be too windy for topwater. We'll see if we can get out of the wind. I'll try to throw a topwater style bait, and maybe we can do smallmouth slash pike. I know we've been talking about mapping lots, and we talked about this in a recent video where I did a video without electronics. I think even if you don't have a graph on your boat or kayak or whatever you're doing when you're ice fishing, at the bare minimum, I would invest, it's less than a tank of gas, into getting a subscription. And Garmin owns Navionics, which happened, I think, in recent years. They keep adding new lakes all the time, and to be completely honest, I did not know all the lakes they added until I got the most recent map chip. And they have a lot of stuff in Manitoba and Northwest Ontario in HD 1-foot contours. One of them being Lac du Bonnet, Clearwater Lake up by the Paw in northern Manitoba. Man, there's a lot. That I've just listed a couple, but Lake Winnipeg, obviously a huge one. To have the chip and to have it obviously on my graphs is amazing, but on the phone is great too. Because on your phone, you can show the relief shading, which is kind of a cool 3D way to look at the underwater world. And then you've got the colors, the different depth shading that I've done. So now that we're switching to pike, Yeah, we're focusing on those bays, very similar to crappies, but I think more so I just want to make sure there's some creeks in the back that, I don't know, when I think of big pike, I think of, a creek being in the back of the bay and trying to find that first weed bed out. Once again, I'm just going to kind of scroll around the lake here, and I mean, Lac du Bonnet is a playground for these sorts of spots. You've got, creeks coming in all over the place, a lot, like I said, shallow water. The crappies were deeper than I thought. I think the pike will be a little shallower, but you can see all these little inlets, all these little creeks where there's boat ramps and boat launches. Those can all hold big pike. Some of these have some little channels too that you can see if the fish are sitting a little bit deeper, but yeah, I mean, you scroll around on the map and you don't have to go far to find a pike bay. So anyways, we're gonna try a couple more of these inlets. And like I said, we're gonna try for some combo pike / bass. All right, we're gonna start with the top water, the Chopo. It's a little choppy for top water, but we'll see what we're seeing here. Oh yeah, we just floated right into this. Is good stuff too, the good green stuff. There's definitely gonna be a pike sitting in here, I'll tell you that. The only thing is it might be a little too windy for top water. Maybe I should throw a bucktail or a jerkbait or something. If I just wanted to catch any pike, I'd be using something a little smaller, but Lac du Bonnet has 50-inch pike. There's been legit 50s caught here, which is pretty crazy, but it makes sense when you see the lake. It's just, why wouldn't it have a 50-inch pike? I'm just casting right on the edge of this weed bed. Anytime I turn my live scope to the left, I just see this shelf and beautiful green weeds. Find the green weeds and you will find the pike. I'm just ready to get stopped. Oh, come on! Come on! On cue! Oh, he's in the thick cabbage. Oh, it's big. Oh, it's big. That was ridiculous. On cue, it's a huge pike. Oh my gosh, that was just outrageous. Oh baby, look at that pike. Oh yeah! I'm gonna run to the back. If I get a chance to net it, I'm gonna net it. This net still has a big hole in it. Oh my gosh. Baby, the Lac du Bonnet slam. All right, big Manitoba gator. That has to be a master angler. Look at that thing. Wow, I'm fired up right now, guys. That is what I envisioned lived in this back of the bay and just killed the bucktail. Gave her a little drink. We're gonna throw her on the bump board now. All right, we're not gonna keep her out of the water any longer. That is, oh, that's why you pike fish. Look at that fat summer pike. Boom, 41-inch Manitoba pike. First pike we hooked pike fishing. Ridiculous. Anyways, I mean, how are we gonna top that? I think we're done pike fishing now. That was like 15 minutes of pike fishing. I'll show you the bait. This is a bucktail by my buddy Johnny Dadson, and you can see it's a little bit banged up, but it's a good size for pike apparently. I couldn't help but resist fishing a little further along the shoreline. I didn't really talk about the rod, but this is an 8-foot, it's called a Proteus. It's an 8-foot heavy. I wouldn't go shorter than like 7.5 or 8 feet for pike. Nice heavy bait caster. And the braid is really key. When I hook that fish, the braid is so nice for cutting through the weeds, because otherwise you got thin line, they do a couple of wraps, they break off. So this is, I think, I'm gonna say this is 60 or 80 pound braid, Tatula reel. All right, last cast. Then we're gonna switch to the Smallie program. We'll try to stay out of the wind. It is howling out on the lake, but it's kind of enough side bays and stuff that we can get out. But basically for Smallies, I'm gonna look at those little rock stickouts, but not as far back in the bays like we're doing the pike right now. This bay has to have a bass. It looks too good. Once again, I'm just seeing, you know, a bunch of shallow water. If this bay went deep right up to it and straight up, I wouldn't feel as confident catching bass, but the fact that it's a little more gradual up, I see some green and some yellow on the map, gradual up, there's a boulder on the side, a saddle on the left, I see some wood. It's kind of just got those different components that hopefully should hold some fish, but I've been wrong before. Kind of looking like there's fish on the back side of this rock. Oh, it's got hammered. Hammered, what is it? It's pretty big, whatever it is. It's gotta be a pike, or it's a real big walleye. That's ridiculous, gotta be a pike. Ah, it feels like it's wanna jump once it. Whoa, whoa, whoa. It's a big pike. That was a weird move that pike just took, and I feel like he took the bait pretty deep. Just sitting under the boat now. This was on that little Ned, little indestructible bug. We'll get a look at it here soon. It's a pretty good one. He's kind of mad. I might let him do a little jump here for a second. No death roll in my wrist. Barbless jig pops out. Here we'll hold and release. Well, that was easy. I was not planning for that. My line feels a little bit frayed. I'm gonna live life on the edge right now. All right, well, that pike is definitely the highlight of the day. The walleye was pretty weak, perch was pretty weak, had some electric crappie fishing, but it is time for a smallmouth bass. What do we got here? There we go. Oh, what do we got? Walleyes in the weeds. All right, well, I'll set the hook on a few more walleyes. It's a pretty ugly one. We're right on the edge of this weed line here, and I think if I just toss down, I bet you'll get another. Oh, there's a huge pike that just came to look at the motor. He just came up and looked at the trolling motor. He's coming. Got him, got him. Oh my gosh. That was insane. I saw him come up, he was looking at the trolling motor. Do a quick tube switch. Oh, I think I saw him. Oh, baby. Got her, got her. Oh, redemption. Redemption on the big frostbite tube. Maybe the walleye fishing isn't on fire today, but that's some good pike fishing. Big single hook is nice to deal with. And she's gone. All right, perfect. Not quite as big as the one we had before. Cool, we'll keep that. We have another interaction there. Right under the boat. Better walleye. Come on. Ah, it's a smallmouth. That's funny. After all this, the same spot. It's a nice smallie. I'm high sticking. We can do this. Oh yeah. It's a good bass. Well, it looks like we found a cool spot and the hook is out. Just like that. I don't know, probably a 17-inch smallmouth bass. We got smallies, we got pike, we got walleye, we got perch, we got crappies. That's a good day. Well, there you have it. All that's left is the moon eye. Oh, hello. Oh, nice bass. Found a pot of bass. Thought it was only walleyes here. It's right on this weed line. We'll boat sling him. We're boat slinging him. Oh, nice. There we go. Another bass for the tally. Ooh, I hit that one pretty hard. We got Bubba. Oh yeah, that's a good one. Oh, that's pretty long. Sweet, man, we found a good spot into the depths, the 6-foot depths. It's like we've just been anchored here and the fish just keep cycling. Wow. Oh, we got the suck. What do we got a new species. They're suckers. Surprise. We got a sucker. All right, we got a surprise sucker. Sweet, what a beautiful, beautiful specimen. Oh, big sucker. Big old sucker. They're all mixed together. All right, we got trophy Manitoba Master Angler crappie. We got trophy pike. This might be a trophy sucker. Yes, I'm netting a sucker. You can judge me. That's a big sucker. So those fish were looking so big on the live scope. Oh yeah. That's heavy. All right, we're bumping them, bumping a sucker. We have a 22¼ inch. Get that full shot. 22¼ inch, beautiful Lac du Bonnet sucker. Look at that glisten. Look at that shimmer, that sheen. Okay, you got that slow-mo release? Was that slow-mo?
No, it's 24.
That wasn't slow-mo?
No.
I'm just kidding.
Oh.
We got Carson, the intern, behind the camera. Gotta mess with him a little bit. If you are looking to plan a trip out here, obviously it's an awesome, day trip option if you're in the Winnipeg zone. But if not, you're coming from further away, there's Granite Recreation. Great accommodations there, I'll link them below. As you saw, a lot of the spots today I'd never been at before. Get yourself some good mapping. The Active Captain app is amazing. I don't know if I mentioned this specifically, but this zone, as far as for the Navionics, is the Great Lakes West map. That's the chip you want. I'll link that one so you know as well. Yeah, having mapping, these little intricate spots. This one right here, just a little stick out on the shore, and it is loaded with fish. The fishing was spectacular. So this was a good day, and it was checking out a lot of new water. So anyways, that's a wrap. Finally, we're actually done. I'm not gonna say all that stuff again.